Festive seasons, they're often a time for reunions with family and friends, but they could also be a rather stressful time for some, can't they, Steve?
Apparently so. With Chinese New Year just around the corner, let's discuss this with Dr. Irene Tirtajana. She's a consultant at the Department of Psychiatry at Fong General Hospital. Thank you for coming in.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, great to have you on. So tell us then, what are the most common causes of stress at this time of year?
Well, so at this time of the year, it's a lineup, isn't it? It's like within a month, we have Christmas, New Year, Chinese New Year coming up. And basically, there will be lots of demands around this period. Yeah? Demands on your resources, your time, your energy, finances. And on top of that, there's probably reduced rest as well, because people are having all these extra things to do. Yeah? So more demands, less rest, and you get stressed as a result.
Okay, but these are celebrations. These are times to celebrate, are they not?
Yeah, and what I want to emphasize also is that stress is normal. It's a normal part of life.
Okay.
Yeah? And in fact, the American Psychological Association actually did a survey in 2017 and found that 38% of people actually experience stress at this time of the year.
When it comes to that stress, though, are we different, you know, women and men, in terms of how we sort of... I was very stressed over Christmas because I had to cook Christmas dinner for the first time in years, and I had a bit of an encounter with the oven. That's another story. But anyway, it was very stressful. So do we handle stress differently?
I think it's different for everyone. Yeah? But we also have to be cognizant of the differences in social pressures, perhaps. As a female, you know, there are certain expectations, having children, for example. Guys are not expected to have children, right? So there's that. Perhaps keeping the house clean. A lot of homemakers can get stressed around this time of the year because they have to keep the house spick and span and do everything.
Yeah, especially with people visiting, I suppose.
Yeah, I've got white floors as well, so it's going to be extra scrutiny.
Do you feel the pressure?
I do feel the pressure. I feel the pressure every morning when I look at those floors.
Well, how can we better get through sort of awkward dynamics or awkward situations when we're sort of catching up with family and friends that we don't see every day or don't see so often, but, you know, we like to catch up with during these times?
Yeah, I think this question gets asked a lot. And it's like a lot of the self-regulation things. And we talk about self-regulation as the capacity or the skill to be able to monitor and to manage your own behavior and your own reactions to things, right? It's more of an all-year-round thing, you know? It's not just before Chinese New Year, you start practicing it.
Oh, I see. We should be working on this throughout
the whole year.
Just
to prepare for that, right? So it starts with, like, getting proper sleep, enough exercise, proper diet, you know? Yeah, and also I think there are all these tendencies of wanting to compare sometimes when large groups of people gather, right? And Chinese New Year is supposed to be a joyous occasion, prosperous occasion, and lots of people come in their fineries and stuff, right? So we need to be conscious of all these things in the background, stuff that's actually affecting our behavior somewhat, or our expectations even.
I like what you said or raised about comparisons, because I suppose that is when you're catching up with family that you haven't seen for a while and you're trying to get up to speed with what they've been up to, then you start to maybe measure, like, oh, they've had this measure of success and I haven't done this in this year, and I suppose that could be something that could be contentious in some ways.
Yeah, potentially. I was thinking that, you know, you mentioned this issue of getting prepared. It sounds like festive seasons are almost like training for a marathon, but how important is it? That's stressful. But how important is it to sort of know yourself, like to know what triggers you in that preparation?
Very important, I think. And so part of the things is to know whether you've got all these hidden rules in your mind. You know, the do's and don'ts, like the musts and shoulds. Yeah, like, for example, the family must have dinner at this particular restaurant. We can't have it any other way, right? Or I must always feel comfortable. I cannot feel unhappy. I cannot have anyone asking me difficult questions. Those are the musts, the hidden musts. Like 2 hours before, I was still scribbling my answers just now, and I realized, oh, there's a must here. I must provide the correct answer.
So it's to be aware of these things. Do we also then have to cut ourselves some slack and give ourselves some space to just it be okay?
Expectations.
Yeah.
And beware of your own internal expectations as well as the external pressures that may just come down on you around this time.
Heavy stuff. And we should also keep in mind that it does get more intense and there's so much sort of food involved as well, and it's all wonderful. And you have
it's very stressful to push those pineapple tarts away.
When you have a stressful environment and you have so much food around you, there's only one thing that's going to happen. People are going to
You're expected to eat. Yeah, you're expected to eat as well. I mean, if someone is serving you their, homemade cookies and so on, to to say no is
Yes, how do we manage that process?
So beware that thing called decision fatigue. Yeah, you have to make 101 decisions that you don't normally do. Yeah, all these challenges keep coming up. You know, so just maintaining, stay cool, stay calm, and just allowing emotions like. We tell people that it's like, you know, it comes and goes. Yeah? It's quite fluid, basically. One moment you may be happy, one moment you may feel stressed, one moment you might feel anxious, and it all comes and goes, right? Yeah.
Okay, so is there advices for us to just sort of go with the flow, don't get too stressed about it? Someone offers you a pineapple tart, just say yes.
Extra sit-ups for you tomorrow.
Yes. I'm just going to forget about that. I'm just going to eat, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming in to share that with us. I feel less stressed already. I like what you said about, you know, the must and the should.
Yes.
We shouldn't should on ourselves so much.
We mustn't have so many musts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you very much. We've been speaking there to Dr. Irene Tirtajana. She's a consultant at the Department of Psychiatry at Teng Fong General Hospital.